It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Hundley. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left, and that's caught inside the 35. A huge play there for Washington. And even 50 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's able to get 6, a nice pickup down to the 21. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Throwing, Hundley. And now he'll tuck it and run. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, receiver.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Trying to lay one up deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
Now Cohen shedding through the defense. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. Second down, Cousins. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Here we go. Third and long for Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by DJ Swearinger.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They go play action here on first down. Steps away. And some room to roam now. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And on the ground they go with a running back. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. He's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 31 yards there and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Switch it up here and look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And over the middle, this is Parker. And he'll go down at the 28. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Anthony Barr able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be fourth down. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And now out comes Minnesota. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
He's going to go up top again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And his guys are going to take over at the 31.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And they'll run it here. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So a minute 56 to play in this first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Cousins now on second down. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. A first down throw for Cousins. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. A great play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out comes Minnesota. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. He finds an opening past the 40. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Cousins to throw it this time. He's got it complete to Dan's right side. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now a play fake here on first down. Forced out to his left. And he's got room. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense is able to run successfully.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. The Redskins on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They'll start with a give to Cohen. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Cousins. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. Becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Bird. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's the backup Smith. Steps away to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Redskins on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Yellow.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one. And that'll bring up 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And Hopkins' kick is good. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. So it's his 3rd field goal now in the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
This is Cohen. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
From the gun, here's Cousins. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he's got this down to the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They run. This is Cohen. Finding room to the 20. And all the way down to the 5. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
Every player I know tends to play the game in his mind before it actually happens. There's no way he thought that at this stage of the game, this would be his first big run like that.
Yeah, but it's got to feel for him like the floodgates open, a sigh of relief. Now we'll see if things can open up for him.
See if it can continue.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And he'll bang that one through. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that.
It got his man complete. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Hey, flex round! Flex round!
Throwing, Hundley. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Throwing, Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Hundley. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And nearly picked off there. And it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
And he stopped immediately there. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On second down, here's Crowell. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So their move is to decline that so they don't get another second down. It'll be third.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their third down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's a sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on third down.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Here's Ryan Quigley now. And you wonder, could they possibly think about taking a safety here? Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Crowder now to return. Now he bowls him over. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Here we go. White 90. White 90.
He's back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a third down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. He'll look to throw. And over the middle, this is Parker. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Rhino!
Again, it's Cohen. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The Vikings on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
This is Cohen on the toss. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take